there, I'm Maggie Kelly, your host today of Maggie's Mindful Moments, and this is the third installment of 3 that I was bringing to you each week for the past few weeks about the misperceptions of reality. So today, the third one is this misperception that we're separate from one another, that I exist independent of you, that who I am, whether I'm in a certain role to be a teacher or a stockbroker or a lawyer or a grocery clerk or a bus driver, that's my identity. That's who I am, and that is me and all that defines me. And where that becomes a misperception of reality and also quite a big delusion is that truly, if I ask you to breathe, take a breath, you can't breathe through your nose, mouth, and into your lungs and back out again without taking your environment in and out with you. And that's the same for us as human beings. No time anywhere, that, at least that I've been alive, has this been more blaring and blatant as we navigate the circumstances of COVID. Realizing, the haves and have-nots, those people who are sick and dying at a larger and more alarming rate than others because of lack of health care. People who want to open really quickly, people who are more strategic and more reserved and mindful. Just the whole concept that my world and I am in it by myself. And too bad that there's 80-year-olds out there that are more susceptible to this thing, or people with chronic illness as well. Doesn't affect me, so I won't do anything differently. So this is a concept that's enormous, especially in Buddhist teachings, in the Dharma teachings. It's a teaching of emptiness. But so if you're interested in learning more about this and delving deeper into it, please make sure to tune into the Life Illuminated podcast for a much deeper conversation. But Thich Nhat Hanh, the famous Buddhist monk, likes to call it interbeing, that we inter-are, that I can't really exist without you, and you can't really exist without me. That everything that I do affects everything else and everyone else around me, whether we notice it or not, whether we believe it or not, and whether we understand it or not. We inter-are. And without understanding that we inter-are, we're kind of like flying blind on our own, doing things for ourselves in a very selfish, very self-centered kind of way, as opposed to a more compassionate and loving way. So if you want to hear a little bit more about that, make sure you tune in to the Life Illuminated podcast. But for now, I want you to give some thought to this idea that perhaps maybe you have an idea that you are the roles that you play, and you've forgotten that that's just all they are, the roles that you're playing. That's not really who you are. Who you are is much, much, much bigger than that. And we will explore more. Stay tuned for the next episode of Maggie's Mindful Moments. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.